on to chapter 7, which is all about the cancer and plant connection. So grow plants, not cancer cells.
Yeah. So, there's no, you don't want to oversell. There are people that have eaten plant diets and developed cancer. It's a very complex process of diet, of stress, of sleep, of toxins, of genetics. However, on average, studies in Loma Linda say many of the cancers are less common in people that have plant diets. Certainly breast cancer, prostate cancer are two of the big ones. And there's some data the other way, of course, strong data from the World Health Organization that processed meats like bacon, sausage, hot dog, pepperoni are related to cancer of the colon so strongly that the World Health Organization 2.5 years ago said, bacon isn't a risk. Bacon causes cancer. Hot dogs cause cancer. It's sad, but that's ignored by the medical community. It's ignored by our hospital system. It should be illegal to serve bacon in a hospital. It should be illegal to give kids hot dogs in a children's hospital because the data was reviewed so carefully and it's so definitive. So, I don't want you to really eat soy hot dogs, but I'd rather eat a soy hot dog than a processed red meat hot dog. I'd rather you substitute everywhere you can, lower your risk. And if you're getting therapy for cancer, you do want to keep your calorie count up and eat abundantly, but eat a plant-based diet full of vitamins and nutrients and fiber and such. There's a unique plant program called Chemolieve, which is a dietary program during chemotherapy that has some very promising data, but nobody's curing cancer with ground up beef and hot dogs, so get out that stuff.
Which plants are your favorite for someone who does have cancer and is looking to make a couple of minor, changes? Because sometimes people get very freaked out with big changes. What would be the, again, top 1, 2, or 3 plants that you say, start today, if you have cancer, these plants have got to be a part of your diet?
Yeah, first would probably be the family called the Brassica family. Some people call them cruciferous vegetables, but we're giving a shout out here to broccoli, to cauliflower, to Brussels sprouts, to bok choy, to greens, bitter greens like mustard greens, collard greens, wasabi, real wasabi, horseradish, many, I think there's about 30 to 40 vegetables in the Brassica family, but just broccoli. If you eat raw broccoli, steamed broccoli, don't cook the heck out of it. There's just an amazing series of chemicals that have a strong influence on cancer cells and suppress cancer cells. The second might be mushrooms. Mushrooms are very rich in vitamin D, which helps your immune system. And there's another component in mushrooms called beta-glucans, but you can just get the plain old cheap white button cap mushrooms. And if you've had breast cancer and you have a habit of eating those plain old white button cap mushrooms, your risk of recurrent breast cancer goes down, like it does with soy, tofu, organic, like it does with broccoli. And lastly, give a shout out to turmeric. The little root looks like a worm, little root, or you shave it, you can juice it, you can put it in tea. You can buy, of course, the dried spice. It's not a food now, it's a spice, but turmeric is amazing.
I love all of those. And there's such wonderful ways to cook these. I think one of the challenges we face is, when you're starting to transition to a plant-based diet from having been a meat-dominant eater is recipes. And Dr. Joel, your book has some amazing recipes. So for those of you listening to this book masterclass, make sure you pick up the book and check out the recipes. It will help the transition. Yeah, there you go.
It was a 21-day eating plan with recipes. I see it right there. Not like I don't go home every night and read my own book.
I will give one quick recipe for meat eaters. Take those mushrooms, grind them up in a blender, so kind of the small fine grain ground up, and cook it in just coconut aminos and basil. And it almost tastes like basil chicken. So you can fool yourself into thinking you're eating basil chicken with this ground up mushroom, blend with the basil leaves, and you can throw some cilantro in there as well.